There's a lot of crap in these types of videos, but I kid you not, this one simple concept completely flipped my trading. Go back to 2019, that was when my trading journey really began. And from 2019 really through 2022 and even into 2023, I never had the consistency that ultimately you're looking for. I did quite well, and then I slowly bled through the gains that I had made early on in my trading career. And then it only was recently, about 9 months ago, that this flip has been absolutely massive in not only my results, but how I view things and then how I approach every day, every week, every month, and what I am looking forward to and how I feel about the future of my trading is something that I am honestly telling you right now, I have never felt this before. It's this humble, but at the same time, super excited and extremely pumped for what's to come. But I have the emotional and mental constraint to understand that it will come in due time. Just keep doing what you're doing day after day, week after week, month after month. I mean, I even have it written right here. It's one of the things that I have recently come to understand a lot better throughout my life, and I'm applying that to my own trading. But let's get into what's going on. So take it back about a year or two, and I was realizing that I needed something that would work year round. I didn't want to have to rely upon the seasonality of small caps and the manipulation and the volume being super low and then not being, reliable every single day, week, or month. And I don't trade every single day. I trade when I have setups that present themselves. That may come every day, it may not. It just depends upon the market. But I found that those setups were not very common, and there could be very long periods of time where they weren't common when looking at small caps, penny stocks. That's what I originally got into. Quickly transitioned to options, and then now I've made a different transition, which I'll talk about in a second. But the transition from penny stocks to options, I moved to essentially large cap stocks that we commonly hear about, know, and even invest in our own portfolios. But in searching for that, I was absolutely all over the place. You can go back and watch videos from a long time ago, and I would be strategy hopping. I would be talking about, contrarian trading this day, and then breakout trading this day, and then trend line trading this day. I would literally be all over the place, and I did not have a set of criteria or rules that I would follow every single day that led me to the promised land, if you will, or consistency. That's the promised land. It's consistency. Real trading is not about making money every single day, because it's not going to happen. You're going to lose. And of course, it's cliche. Everyone says, oh yeah, you got to accept your losses. But it's a whole load of bullshit, because people say that and then they'll go off and show you that they never lose. They'll just put, trade after trade after trade, never lose. Look at me, I'm the best. That's not real. They're probably hiding something that, again, if you knew, you would not follow them, watch them, or ever give them a second of your time. The purpose of what I am doing now, I feel, is to document and show what it actually takes to learn how to trade, to be consistent, to actually trade, versus the load of literal bullshit that you see on social media. So here are the results. This is when I made the move to trading every single day based off what I saw. I would get up, I would say, okay, the market looks bullish, bearish, here are the levels, blah, blah, blah. And then based off of what I see, I would then say, okay, that means today I'm probably gonna look for dip buys or breakouts or this or that. And it was an approach that I had to analyze the market every single day, come in and ultimately craft a plan for the day. And what you'll see is that if you go back to October 2022, we did pretty well. We then had some big losses. If you look at the loss chart, the daily P&L chart, we had some very big losses, and then we were able to make some money back. We were actually able to get green again into the end of the year, and as we started off the new year, 2023. That's when things took a turn for the worse, and we went downhill, and we legitimately never looked back for months. This was, I mean, at the end of the day, this is what broke me. This is what forced the change. Everyone looks to a certain situation and says, well, you could be at rock bottom, and that's what turned me around. It caused me to start doing X, Y, Z. This period of time was probably the most painful period of time, or I would say it's the second most painful period of time of trading, because there was a period before this that was more painful, but it was drawn out for a longer period of time. This was extremely painful because I thought I had it figured out. I thought I was like, okay, we're not going to swing trade. We're going to day trade. We're going to do this, this, and this. We're going to come in every day. We're going to analyze the market and we're going to make our plays and our trades based off of that. That did not work for me, and you can see the results. We literally were just continuously trending down, 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 down. That was October 2022 through April of 2023. From April 16th, 2023 to now, as I'm filming this video on January 19th, 2023, here is my P&L curve. Here's what it looks like. Months of consistency. We had some hiccups for a few periods, for a few months, and then even more consistency up until now, even better. And there's actually a secondary video that I want to dive into the difference that I'm now seeing now in my trading and what I think could be the cause of that. So those two curves are like the complete opposite, like the literal complete opposite. We had one that was, oh, look at me, like doing good, and then dumping down, and then, okay, we never came back from that. And then ever since then, we've completely flipped things around. So what was the difference? That's the whole point of the video. I'm going to tell you right now. It's quite simple. It's not necessarily easy to do, but it's actually very simple. And the solution, or the change, was committing to trading only one setup. I committed to trading only one setup. And I said to myself back in April, I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. I am going to trade this way for a year, maybe more. I'm going to trade this way for 1 year. I'm going to figure out all I can about trading this way, and I'm going to master that setup, and I'm going to figure out all I can, and I'm going to see what my results are like. And these are the results through about 9 months of this experiment, if you will. It's taken a long ass period of time. In my view, the dollar amounts are kind of irrelevant. The profit factor, the win percentage, and the average win loss is all that actually matters, because profits, again, can come quick. And I'll even make a future video about how I think a logical way to scale up quickly, but with low risk, how that could be done and what I plan to do in time. But trading only one setup simplified my trading. I came in every day and I didn't feel like I had to figure it out. There was no figuring it out. It was, does the criteria of my trading strategy, is that met? Is it there? Do we see that? And if it's not met, if it's not playing out, we don't trade. The past 2 days, nothing. Because there's just no setups that fit the criteria. The market's kind of been doing this. And I know from experience, when the market does this, I'm not good, right? So my strategy is not trading the chop. My strategy is trading when we are breaking out of chop or breaking down out of chop. That's the strategy. It's not trying to time when we do that and guess and gamble. It's literally when price and volume tell me this is happening, we take the trade. Does it always work? No. Guess what, guys? We have a 49.18% win rate. That looks like ass to someone who comes in and is a new trader and is like, yo, this guy fucking sucks. Well, I hate to break it to you. That's real trading. That's what it actually is like. The margins are not massive. You're not winning 90% of the time. You're not. You're not having 3-4x risk reward on every trade realized. Hence the average win-loss. But if your average win-loss in this case is a 1.32 and your win rate is around 50%, guess what? You're profitable, hence the profit factor of 1.28, meaning that above 1 is profitable. You're profitable, and all that matters is over time, you continue to slowly scale things up, and the dollars can multiply. By the way, this is on 435 trades. So we don't have a small sample size here. We've got a fat-ass sample size. 100 plus trades is what I would say is, okay, now we're talking. We have 435 trades on this. Now, over time, I have critiqued, I have figured out how I can make it better, and I have learned from a lot of mistakes. So I don't trade as often as I used to, but it's the same concept and it's the exact same strategy, just done less and being a little bit more picky on the setups I take. That's it. So not only did going to one setup allow me to only focus on what matters for me and for my strategy, but it also forced me to master it. Now, I don't think I'm going to master anything. No one can master trading. No one can master like, you're not going to master it, but the goal is to get as close to perfection as possible. And I've talked about this in the past. That's what trading is. You're trying to get better. You're trying to get as close to perfect as possible, knowing you're never going to be perfect. The market's going to change. You're like chasing, a moving object, and you're going the same speed as that moving object. And maybe every so often you could make a stride or a leap forward and gain just a touch on that object you're chasing. Like, that's what it's all about, but you're never going to actually get that object. And that's totally okay, because the process of getting closer and closer and closer is what it's all about. And in that process, you can achieve profitability and then ultimately achieve consistency and longevity in what you do. It's not about, again, grabbing it, getting it, taking a bite, and then throwing it up because you did what was unsustainable to get there. You push yourself so hard, you grabbed that object, you now have it, but now guess what? Once you take a bite, you throw it right back up because you don't have the fundamentals, you haven't had the consistency, you don't have the way to digest that properly because the process of how you got it wasn't sustainable. This is Trade Zealous, is where I track all this information. I'll leave a link to them down below this video. I've been using them and paying for this for over a year now, and this is how I've been able to track and log all this stuff, and I want to keep using it on the channel going forward so we can dive into my trading data like we always do in trade recaps. I'm super excited really for how this is progressing, and I'm really excited for what's to come. Leave any questions, comments below. Stay tuned for a video where I'm going to dive deeper into more recently, one of the bigger switches and one of the bigger catalysts that has catapulted the curve. You can see the cumulative P&L curve, and I want to go into why that's the case. Thanks so much for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.